Well, hey everybody, and welcome to the Locked Launch Party. I am so excited to be bringing you the sequel to the Golden Trilogy. Now, if you are a fan of mine and of the Golden Trilogy, you know that we left Illyria and Dove in a very precarious situation. Today, you get to find out who lives and who does not, because we already know one person, at least one person, has not survived between Golden and Locked. So I'm really excited. We're going to give everybody just a minute to sign on because I know it does take a minute for everyone to get logged on to the broadcast here. And while we are doing that, let me explain some rules to you. So thank you so much for joining us. I see that Elizabeth is here. Hi, Elizabeth. Sissy is here. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. On the right side of your screen, you are going to see a chat box. This is where you can be talking to me throughout the course of today's broadcast. If you have questions, go ahead and pop those in there. There's actually a red button, a little flag or a question mark, I think it is. You can go ahead and click that if you have a question for me. That's going to help me figure out what's a question and what is a comment. But feel free to talk to me and to the other people who are hanging out for the party throughout the course of the broadcast. So go ahead and say hello. Let me know who you are, where you're from, and what your favorite type of book to read is. Bonus points if you let me know if you've read one of my series before, the Golden Trilogy or the Jaded Duology. Now, we are going to be doing some really cool things today. I'm very excited because we've got giveaways, we've got party gifts, we have games, we've got some behind-the-scenes secrets, and I am giving a huge, major hint on the big announcement that I have coming in October. So I'm going to be giving away a hint. That's going to be a little bit later, but I do need to let you know we have some prizes that we're giving away today. I am giving away e-copies of both Golden, I grabbed the right one, of both Golden and Jaded, and I do have a signed copy of an, not an advanced copy, but one of our proof copies, one of our uncorrected. Wow, I'm having trouble with words tonight. Uncorrected proof copy of Golden that I am annotating, which means I am writing notes to you guys. And I am going to be giving away some secrets and some fun things within this annotated copy. To get your hands on a copy of any of our prizes today, you have to comment. So you need to start talking to me over in my chat box. Let me know all sorts of things. I'm going to start counting lines. I have some predetermined numbers, and within that, I'm going to be going through and counting line by line, and that is how I'm selecting our winners for today's prizes. It's going to be awesome. I will say if you write like one word at a time to kind of extend your chances, that's not going to work because I'm going to count that all as one. So every comment that you put in there, every question you put in there kind of counts toward possibly winning some of these prizes. Hey, Sissy, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate you popping into that chat box. Whew, we're giving it just a second for everybody to get signed in, and then we are going to launch into the party. Like I said, we've got games, we've got giveaways, we've got secrets behind the scenes, we've got a live book reading, all sorts of fun and fabulous things today, and I cannot wait. So sound off in those comments. Let me know as you are jumping in. Hello to Jessica and Brianna. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I appreciate you being here. Chat box is on the right side of the screen. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know who you are, where you're from, and what type of books you like to read. Bonus points if you tell me whether or not you've read my books yet. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started. Brianna, hi. Thanks for joining. I appreciate having you here. It is really hot here right now because I had to turn off all my fans. So please don't mind me. I definitely got my little fan here because I'm a little bit dying here. It's been a long day for me here on launch day. Yay. So let's talk a little bit about Golden. I'm really excited because this is the sequel. We are going to find out what happens when Goldilocks is separated from Baby Bear. So we know in Golden, Goldilocks was never naive. She was sent on a mission, and Dove Bear is her new target. So we know that Illyria, my Goldilocks, has been sent on a mission by her cousin Lowell, who is her only remaining family. He has a vendetta against the Bear family for reasons, and he wants them dead and gone. And so he sends his cousin out to kind of worm her way into the Bear's family and get their trust and then destroy them. And we know in Golden, she kind of falls for Dove Bear, who is our baby bear. And you know that I have shaken up the traditional roles within the three bears. So it's Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Baby Bear, except it's really not. It's older brother, his wife, and younger brother. So we kind of have that parental thing going on a little bit. And we know, Eden and Berwin, who are my mama and Papa Bear, have some anger management issues. It's a thing. And Dove is my wonderful, heroic, lovely main character guy who kind of is more of a parent than the older two. It's kind of an interesting thing. And we know throughout the course of Golden, she falls in love with Dove, and he figures out what's going on. She ends up telling him that she has betrayed him, and he kind of holds her at a distance, and stuff happens. If you haven't read it, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to wreck it, but you do know by the end of Golden, unfortunately, a lot of bad things have happened. At least one person has died, but you don't know who it is yet. And literally anybody could be dead aside from my Goldilocks and her handler, Shadow, as they are sent over the wall. Dove is captured. Eden and Silas, we don't know what's happened to them. They've been separated. Berwyn's potentially dead because he just got slashed with that poison, and just all sorts of crazy stuff is going on. And so now we finally get to find out who is alive, who is dead, and what happens when Goldilocks gets thrown over the wall of the society. Sissy is saying it's hot here too. You took all the ACs out. Oh, sadness. Elizabeth, she's from California, and you like mysteries, fantasies, and retellings. Yes, girl. Love a good retelling, obviously. I love a good retelling. Sissy is from Massachusetts and loves all things fantasy. And Sissy's read all of my books. Yes, she has. Sissy's read all sorts of things that aren't even out yet. So, yay, Sissy. Okay, so let's dive in. We're going to talk all about Locked today. Brianna says you cannot wait to read these, but you haven't been able to yet. Well, sadness, Brianna. You gotta get your hands on a copy of them. It's really awesome. For the record, let me just kind of give you the rundown. We have Golden, which is our first book in the Golden trilogy. We then have Forged, which is the prequel novella that talks all about how Goldilocks was trained to be sent on that deadly mission in Golden. I do recommend reading Golden first, then Forged, and then Locked, which actually brings me to my next point. There are new characters, baby, in this book. I am so excited. So we've got our original cast in Golden. We've got a whole new cast in Forged because this takes place before Goldilocks met the bears. So we get to see how she was trained with her cousin Lowell and her handler Shadow. We meet a whole bunch of people here who we then see some of in here. And it really is helpful to read this book first. It's not necessary, but it is definitely helpful to make some of those connections and to see some of that background stuff. And then we've got all new characters in here, which is kind of what I want to talk about because here's the deal. My advanced readers have been making quite the fuss over some of my new characters. Now, we do have quite a few new characters because Goldilocks is thrown over the wall. She's out of the society. She's on the other side. She doesn't know who she's going to meet and who she can trust, and she's going to discover there are people over there who are connected to the story and are going to matter within the course of Locked. Rena says, that's so awesome. I really love retellings, and once I saw this, I was like, no way, right? Because nobody writes about Goldilocks. Poor Goldilocks, everybody leaves her out. So we had to tell her story. Sissy says you won't regret it either. That's right. That's right. Okay, so new characters in here. I do want to introduce you to a couple of them. I'm not going to be able to say too much because I don't want to wreck it for anybody, but we have some new characters. We do have, and I'm just going to give like little tiny hints here. We've got some new characters. I've got one. Well, I'm just going to give you some names here. I'm just going to give you a couple names. I'm going to throw things out here. And there are some people that you have met within these other stories that I may or may not have named in some of these other stories that you are going to learn their name in this story or you're going to see them again. So we have people like Justin and Devin. We've got Tally. We have Raislyn. We have Necesta. We've got Wallace. We have some other really cool characters. And I will tell you this. This is something I tell during a lot of my launch parties. This is like a top secret thing. I do have a character who was written into Golden, who also makes an appearance in Forged, who also makes an appearance in Locked, and you still don't know his name. Do you think by the end of my third book we'll reveal his name? I don't know. Do you think you're going to catch on? I don't know. I've been pretty good about keeping things quiet about him. Oh, well, there's a big one. It's a boy. It's a guy. But I've been very, very quiet about who he is and how he plays into all this, and most people have not been able to identify him yet, even though he carries over throughout all of those books. So, fun time. Sissy says she adores Justin. Well, girl, we all adore Justin. He's cute and gorgeous and sweet, and yay. I just love it. So there you go, guys. Justin isn't a bad guy that you know of. That's the other thing. Sissy likes some of my bad guys, so. Elizabeth has not read them yet either, but I was thrilled to be able to get Golden recently. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad. And Jess is here hanging out with us. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Let me just check and see who all is hanging out with us. Fantastic. Oh, it's not telling me your names. I'm seeing there are more people here that are listed in my my box here. Usually they tell me your name, but I'm not seeing everybody's name. So let's switch back to the chat box. Yeah, we can't trust Sissy, she's saying in the comments. Okay, so we do have quite a few new characters in Locked because we are over the wall. Jess is saying I better not make Justin a bad guy. I mean, you know me. I kill off everybody. I turn people from good to bad and bad to good. And, you know, I can't make any promises. There's still one more book, which I am currently writing. Yay. Shout out. Give me a little love in the comment box if you're excited that I am writing the third book. Third book is called Edge, for those of you that don't know. And the cool thing about this is most of my titles are kind of metalworking titles. So we have Golden, which obviously Goldilocks, Golden is not necessarily a metalworking term, but, you know, it's metallic, right? And so for the rest of these books, I went with metalworking terms, and they all have quite the strong significance within the course of this story. So Locked is a term, Forged is a term, and Edge is a term, and they all apply to those unique stories and what Illyria goes through within those stories. So there you go, bonus points for that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in and we're going to play a little game. I told you we have some new characters in Locked. One of those new characters is named Necesta. You are going to be reading about Necesta fairly early, and in fact, I just realized I should probably read it to you first and then play the game. So go ahead, give me a little shout out. Do you want to hear a little bit of Locked? Because I will happily read you just a little bit of this story. But I need a little love in the chat box to encourage me first. So go ahead. Do that. I'm going to grab some water real quick because I'm talking a lot. Jess is saying confetti, Edge. Yes, I'm excited for it. It's going to be awesome. Okay. So here's the deal. If you have not read Golden yet, you might want to just like cover your ears for a few minutes. It's not going to give away any huge secrets, especially since I already told you she's separated from Dove and has been tossed over the wall. To protect her, and she's with Shadow, her handler, who's evil. Don't say it, Jess. He is evil. And Sissy, don't you go there either. Sissy and Jess are part of my elites, and some of them have little crushes on Shadow, and I'm not overly thrilled with that. So we threaten each other a lot. It's kind of fun. Okay, here we go. The moments between knowing the pain is coming and actually feeling it are the most agonizing. As soon as I heard it, the low, vicious growl, I stopped moving. I held in my gasp, as I had been trained to do. Before I could turn to confront my attacker, I heard the collision as body met body. The wolf that had been crouching behind me flailed in the grass. It hissed and snarled as it tried to attack Shadow. He held the beast back, trying to strangle it. Without thinking, I picked up a large branch and brought it down on the gray wolf's head, silencing it. Shadow made sure the job was done. It had been a week since Shadow and I had escaped over the wall. Dove, the man I cared for, was still trapped somewhere in the society. He gave himself up to save me, as he had been doing since the day I met him all those months ago. Shadow, my former handler, and I had been traveling together since that day. I didn't trust him, but we still worked well together as the day that we had started training. I relaxed enough to work with him without fearing for my life. The day we escaped, I learned a great deal of information from Shadow as he attempted to convince me not to run. Every day since, he tried to show me he was not a threat. We both worked for my older cousin Lowell, following his every command. Wow, trouble with words today, guys. His mission was to take down the society by framing Dove Bear, his older brother Berwin, and Berwin's wife Eden, along with their entire group. Knowing I could never be a part of that once I met Dove, I betrayed Lowell. Shadow remained loyal. That's hard. It's hard when you put the word loyal and Lowell together. Shadow remained loyal to Lowell despite the fact that he was gone. Just before our escape, the government was going to hang us. In an effort to save Lowell, his men unintentionally gave us the opportunity to escape. When the soldiers finally caught up with us, we split up. Silas and Eden ran toward the woods. Dub and I ran toward the town. Shadow found us at the wall and helped Dub to save me. The last thing I saw was the soldiers capturing the man who stayed behind to protect me. Shadow and I had rabbit meat. Shadow and I had rabbit meat, having saved our meal from the wolf. A meal of anything more than tiny birds was more than I could ask for. My former handler and I set up camp in the wastelands that, wow, guys, I am not doing well today. It has been a stressful day for me. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Let me try this one more time. I am a librarian's daughter, so usually I'm pretty good at this, but today's been crazy. I had a puppy injury today, and so things were crazy. So let me start again. Let me regroup here. Kind of like Illyria and Shadow, right? My former handler and I set up camp in the wastelands that lie between our nation and the foreign nations that attacked our people. With our camp being only a few miles outside of the closest foreign town, we had the perfect opportunity to spy on them while staying far enough away to keep from being discovered. Each day we crept toward the city. Each day we got a little closer, pushing our luck and challenging them to notice our approach. The next day we planned to go to the city. I prayed it wouldn't be our last. Are you ready, Lur? Shadow asked me. I tucked the last bit of my long golden hair under my wrap and nodded to him. Shadow and I carried sacks of food we had gathered to trade. We decided the best thing we could do was disguise ourselves as traders to get around the city without much notice. Some of the rabbit meat was tucked away in our bag, ready to be bartered for supplies. I was grateful we could hunt in the wastelands. What do you have, dearie? A woman clutched my arm and held up several strings of beads. The glittering crystals caught my eye as they shimmered. For a moment, I was lost in their beauty. They're beautiful, but not today, thank you, I shook her off. We need more weapons, Shadow muttered. Shadow had always been practical. For as long as I'd known him, he'd always made the dependable choice. Shadow had been assigned to me since the day my cousin brought me into his fold. He had been my trainer, my partner, and even the man I was supposed to marry. Together, we were to lead as Lowell's next in command. I glanced around, looking for goods to sell. Oh, for sale. My goodness, you guys. This town was much freer than where Shadow and I had come from. People came and went as they pleased. There was still an oppressive feeling over the town, but the fear was not as great. I concluded it must be because they were so far away from the people controlling them. Shadow, I nodded to a nearby man. He eyed the short man before stepping over to speak with him. I stood near, my back to his. I pretended to scan the area for trades, but really I was watching for oncoming attacks. I imagined they must have been hunting us by now. The society would be furious with me. They may not know Shadow, but I had escaped. They would be coming for me. Over the years I worked with Shadow, he had trained me well. Our reactions to each other came instinctively. We walked away with several knives, having traded for the rabbit meat and several small birds. I put a knife in each crumbling boot, grateful to have it securely against my skin. My hand brushed over the knife in my belt. I watched as children ran through the streets. They reminded me of the little ones from the storehouse. I hoped that they were safe under Berwin's watch. I still didn't know Berwin's fate. He had been poisoned during our plan to show the government it was Lowell who had attacked them rather than the bears. I still hadn't worked up the courage to ask Shadow what he dosed Berwin with. My sight bounced to Shadow's hip where the dangerous metal claw hung, just out of sight under his shirt. Shadow nudged me, and I looked away from the children's game. Inside the small doorway sat a row of boots ready for sale. We cautiously approached the illuminated doorway, warm with candlelight, even in the day. Welcome, welcome, an older man eyed us. Freshly made boots, perfect for long journeys and hard labor. His eyes swept from my wrapped hair all the way down to my boots. He grimaced at the sight of them. They were the same boots I had when I started Lowell's mission all those months ago. Somehow they survived every attack and murder attempt. They served me well, but I was in desperate need of a new pair. What do you have? He asked, and Shadow showed him the remainder of our trade items. Not enough, but for the pretty lady, I'll take it. I shook my head at Shadow. It was way too much, and we hadn't finished gathering our supplies yet. I started to walk away when I heard the man speak again. Which pair would you like? I turned to see Shadow handing everything we had left to the man. No, I shook my head again. Be practical, Lur. You need this. We can come back another day. I tipped my head at him, trying to read him. On one hand, I couldn't imagine Shadow ever paying such a steep price for something as simple as everyday boots. On the other hand, I really needed them. I hadn't complained, but I knew that he could tell it was getting too bad for me to continue in them. Sighing, I reached down to inspect them. I tried several on before selecting a pair. I used my skirt to block my eyes as I tested them. The man never knew I had them safely hidden around my ankles. Thank you, I said as we left. You needed them, was all he said. Shadow had always been a man of few words, at least to me. We hunted again that afternoon. I never had the stomach for killing, so I helped Shadow track, but allowed him to take them down. It made me sick each time, but I knew it was the only reason we were able to survive. The sky was dark at night. The clouds blocked the moon, allowing us slivers of passing light as we lay on the ground next to the fire. On our journey, we had seen several nomadic groups roaming about, so we felt safe enough to have open flames at night. The days were growing short, and the air was getting cooler as summer slipped into fall. The leaves dropped off the trees and swirled around our feet. Tomorrow we'll go back again. We need to be seen. The more familiar they become with us, the more they will let their guard down, Shadow said absent-mindedly. Shadow, I asked, what's the plan? He's adorable? Who's adorable, Jess? You better not be talking about Shadow. He looked at me as if I were crazy. The plan is to get information, Laura. You know that. I mean the long-term plan. We escaped, but all those people are still back there. What are we going to do? Illyria, he demanded my full attention. We're not going to do anything. You're safe. Now we just have to survive. Now it was my turn to look shocked. Shadow, we're not just going to leave them there. I'm going back for them whether you help me or not. It's just a matter of when and how. I couldn't read his expression as he gave me a strange look. The guards took him, Lur. If they didn't kill him on the spot, they've surely hung him at this point. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. Not even the pain of torture that I had received only weeks earlier compared to the notion of Dove being dead. He's not dead. He can't be, I said quietly. Shadow sighed at me and rolled over, ending the discussion. But I didn't care. I would find a way back. I'd save Dove and Eden, Silas and Berwin. I'd save all of the Bears group. I wouldn't give up on them. I brushed my hair back with my cold hand and forced tears back into their deep well. By morning, I had a plan. I'd learned my way around the city. I would find alliances if I could. I'd find a way to provide for myself, and then, if need be, I'd slip away from Shadow and run. I knew it was very likely he'd find me and drag me back away from the wall, but I had to try. The town was full of people again. They bumped and jostled into each other as they walked. I watched carefully for every move they made. Hello again, dearie, an old lady said, the woman with the beads. This time she carried a small cart behind her. Help an old woman, dearie, and I'll let you have one of these. She held up a sparkling necklace. What do you need? I asked kindly. I need to be across town. She looked down at her cart, heavy with bottles, jars, and crates. I nodded to Shadow, indicating that he should let me be. He branched off and went to trade. I picked up the handles and followed behind the woman. What's your name, dearie? She questioned me. I caught myself. Lur. My name is Lur. That's an unusual name, dearie. Lur. She grinned as she tried out my name. I'm the Sesta. As you can see, I'm a bit of a medicine woman. Nothing otherworldly, mind you, but herbs and natural remedies. And the beads, of course, she chuckled to herself. You seem to be quite experienced, I remarked, trying to keep the conversation going. Oh, yes, dearie, I've been doing this since before your parents were even born. Where are you taking all this? I asked. Across town to where I set up shop once a month. If people need me, they find me, but I try to make myself available in different locations when I can, she croaked, still chuckling. I could tell as she walked that she was stronger than she appeared to be. I had no doubt that she had been about to haul that load by herself. It made me wary. Once we arrived, she asked me to help set up. It was almost like a small shack, similar to the ones the Bears had out in back of their house, only this one was missing a side. The front had been removed, leaving it open to the world. There were several chairs and a table waiting. She set out a few things, but left most of her work in the cart. Sit, dearie, and you can learn a thing or two, she winked at me. I obliged out of courtesy, but my hand sat on the knife in my belt as I leaned away from her. Almost immediately, people started making their way over to the shack. Necessita called out ingredients for me to fetch for her. I examined each one before handing it to her. Watching, I waited as she set the young boy's broken arm. I helped her as she wrapped the hand of a man who had lost a finger, barely stomaching the blood. Within a few hours, I felt strangely at peace around the woman. Necesta, thank you for letting me help you today. I truly enjoyed it, I said. Let me help you take your cart back. I stood and picked up the handles. She nodded and we walked back together to her side of the city. Most of the cart's contents were gone, making the trip lighter. Where's that friend of yours, dearie? She asked as we drew close to the street we met on. Is he your lover? Her question nearly pulled me to a halt, but I caught myself and continued with only a slight hesitation in my step. No, he's not. He's a friend. I thought so. You didn't seem too worried when he left your side. Him, on the other hand, he likes you. I gathered that Necesta was a woman of many talents. She was very perceptive, even if she was a little off. You'll both come to dinner, and then I'll pay you for your help. Oh, no, Necesta, you don't have to pay me. I enjoyed it. And we wouldn't want to impose. Oh, nonsense, dearie. Go find your companion, and let's get on with it, she demanded, scuttling into a small house. Shadow appeared as if on cue. You were watching, I said without turning to him. Of course, he grumbled. Did you get anything accomplished today, I asked. Yes, he seemed cross. I stayed close in case you needed me, but I didn't watch you all day. You're trained well enough to take care of yourself. I just wanted to make sure you were all right. This is a new place, after all. Necesta wants us to stay. He raised his eyebrows at me. She's feeding us. Just don't be rude, I said, stomping off toward Necesta's door. Shadow followed me. The house was small, but the warmth of the fire was like heaven. She pointed to the table where she had already started setting out food. So, young man, Necesta started. I have already met Goldilocks here, but I haven't had the pleasure of meeting her young male companion yet. I'm Shadow, ma'am, he introduced himself as she bustled about the room. Ma'am, she mocked at him. Ma'am, I may be an old grandma, young man, but you will call me Necesta, understood? Yes, Shadow confirmed rigidly. Yes, she prompted, hands on hips. Yes, Necesta. That's better, she proclaimed. Now tell me, where are you two from? It's not around here, that's for sure. And it's not from our country. Now don't worry, she said, glancing at us. No one else knows that. I'm just a perceptive old lady who's been around long enough to know who's from here and who ain't. Shadow and I were both horrified, but managed to keep straight faces. I felt him stiffen, preparing to run if needed. Relax, young man, I'm not telling anyone. I'm only saying if you and your pretty lady friend were to have come from over that wall, she pointed in the direction of the wall, then I'd just be obliged to tell you that there are those of us here who wouldn't mind it. That's all. Apple? I sat stunned for a moment before reaching for the red apple in her hand. How had she known? Did she know who I really was? You aren't the first to run, dearie, she said, eyeing me. You? I couldn't stop myself in time. Yes, dearie, I was once just like you. I jumped the wall and escaped. I found refuge here, though hardly anyone knows it. Don't worry, I'm on your side. Now tell me, how has it been? How did you survive? Shadow interrupted, unwilling to give her any information. Same as you will. I made friends. I learned to blend in. I made myself important. She nodded as she started to eat. You'll find this place, while still controlled by violence and fear, to be a much easier place to live. Only, though, because we are so far removed from the capital. Once they want something from us, which is still often, it can be very deadly. On days like today, when there's no oversight, we're free. She smiled thoughtfully. I was beginning to like this woman. She was no-nonsense, down-to-business, incredibly perceptive person. I had no doubt she was a good person to know in this town. We finished our meal without upsetting Shadow any further. We thanked Necesta and walked back to our campsite. Shadow checked behind us every few steps the entire way back. I like her, I announced. I think she's going to be helpful to us. I touched the necklace around my throat. I insisted Necesta keep it, but she forced me to try it on and then pushed me out the door. I took it off and put it in my pocket. Keep it on, dearie, she had said, so that they know that you're one of my friends. It will keep you safe here. The next day, when we went back to the town, I would wear it for her to see. Its jewels sparkled in the firelight before I dropped them in my pocket. We'll be careful, I said, but I think we can trust her. And there you go. That's a little bit about Necesta and me and my tripping over words there. Woo, fun times. Thanks for dealing with me on that one. So we've got an interesting place that we are starting from. She's met Necesta. She's over the wall. Necesta's rather interesting, and she believes that she can trust her. Which brings me to my game. I told you Necesta gives her a gift, and she just did. She gave her a beautiful necklace, but I think we need to design this beautiful necklace, don't you? I think that would be fun. I think that'd be quite fun. So, here's the deal. I am going to jump over into the chat room right now, and I am going to be giving you a coloring sheet. There we go. Grab your copy. That's the link. You can grab that right now. We are going to be creating this necklace together. It is going to be super awesome, and I cannot wait to see what you are going to be creating. So, go ahead, grab that right now. I'm going to pull mine up, and we're going to do this together live on air. It's going to be fun, and then you can post it on social media, tag me in it, and we can see what your necklaces look like. So I will say, Necesta gives her this necklace. It's beaded, it's beautiful, it's lovely. However, Necesta also gives her another gift a little bit later on. And so I can't tell you too much about this, but I do want to hear some shout outs over in the chat room. How do you think we should be designing this necklace? So I am, if I can get this to cooperate, there we go. It's starting to come up now. It is going to be, there we go, beautiful. I'm going to pull that into Photoshop right now. We're going to pop that up on the screen. Go ahead and give me a shout out. Should I do round beads? Should I do square beads, triangular beads? What should I do to create extra things popping up on my screen? Fun times, guys, fun times. Oops. There we go. I have to switch. Yes, now we're talking. Okay, let me screen share this. And here we go. So go ahead, give me a shout out in that chat box. What should we do to create this? Jess is saying that she loves Necesta. I love Necesta too. She is one of my favorites. Jess thought it was sweet that Shadow spent so much on the boots. Jess, we can't talk to you. Can't talk to you. Oh, that went all glitchy on me. That's okay. We're just going to leave it just like that. It's all good. So I'm going to go ahead. Oval beads, Jess is saying. So let's start off with some oval beads. Oops, I'm on the wrong color. Well, that does not help me now, does it? Grab a new layer here, and let me switch that over to black. Ooh, those are some ovally beads there we've got going on here. Should I have anything dangling down from these beautiful beads? Go ahead and give me a shout in the comments, and let me know what I should have dangling down from these beads. Brianna was going to say round, but oval does sound cooler. Yes. All right, give me a shout out. What should we have dangling down from these beads? And what color should these beads be? Now, if you did not notice before, let me go ahead and switch back real quick. And then we'll come back to this one. Uh-oh. A special necklace on tonight. If you are following me in my author career, you will know that I have a special necklace for each and every one of my series and or books. So if I have a standalone book, it is a necklace just for that. If I have a series, it is a necklace for the entire series. And this is the one for Golden. So if you watch my launch party and a lot of what I do for Golden, you will see me wearing these golden beads. I do have a butterfly one for the Jaded series, and I can't tell you about the others yet. But they are all there, and you will notice me wearing these necklaces for the different events that I'm doing representing these different books. So I'm going to switch back, and I'm seeing butterfly, I'm seeing blues and purples, so let's see what we can do for this pretty, pretty necklace. Fly, and let's go a little bit jaded here, I think. We're kind of working in both of my series. For those of you who do not know, Jaded has the infamous butterfly scene. No, I will not tell you anything about it, but I will say it is kind of a really important scene. That was a very strange wing that I just created there. There we go. Close enough. We're going to call it close enough. And now we're going to add in some color. And I think we could do maybe like a light blue and a light purple. I think that would be pretty. And I'm just going to fill this in. I hope you guys are doing this along with me. I would love to see what you're doing. You can tag me at k.m.robinson books on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter when you put these babies up on your social. Jess says it's pretty. Thanks, Jess. I went outside the lines there a little bit, but that's okay. Would a little bear be overkill? Girl, let me add a bear, because that'd be cute, right? Because it is Goldilocks. Let's do this. And let me see. I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna add, let's switch back to my black. Add a new layer here. Okay, don't worry, I'm not leaving it here. I just gotta get my weird outline. Oh no, that was weird. Weird ears here. It's a weird shaped bear, but that's okay. Close enough. Let me see. I almost wonder. Maybe I want to do this. And we'll just go like this. And we'll save the butterfly for Jaded. And we will move the little bear over. Look how cute that is. That's adorable, right? And I should make him like a tannish, goldish color or something like that. So let me just color in my little bear here. And how cute is that? She is going to wear the bear family right around her neck there. And I am just going to color this in. And it is going to be totally beautiful. What other color should I add? Should I make a little sparkle there? What do you guys think? The bear makes more sense, Jess is saying. Yep. There we go. And let me just add just a little bit of a sparkle to... Ooh, not like that though. Step backwards. Sparkly. Ta-da! Always love some sparkles, right, girl? I'm a sparkle fan. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. So there we go. Ta-da! That is my beautiful necklace. My sad little bear, because I drew it tiny and weird. It's all okay. It's all okay. All right. Give me just a second. We are going to switch this screen back. And I am going to pop up, but it's going to take me off for just a second. So stick with me here, guys. Playing our fun little necklace game. I tend to, not tend to, but sometimes I do these really cool games. Last time we designed Illyria's dress, or Jade's dress, maybe both. Gosh, I don't remember. I have a lot of launch parties. I forget what I do, because I not only host launch parties for myself, but I do them for other authors too. So I forget sometimes what I've done for myself and what I've done for other people. It's okay. It's all good. Okay. Ooh, now that I've got some water. Man, I'm talking a lot. It's all good. I do have some cool stuff for you guys today. We are doing, like I said, we've got those giveaways. So every comment that you are making counts toward possibly getting the annotated copy of Golden, or the ebooks that we are giving away of Golden and Jaded, and some other fun things. So the more you talk to me, the better off you are. Thanks, guys, so much for joining. I see that we've got some people who have joined us. Who have joined us after we started, so thank you so much. I do appreciate you guys being here. Go ahead and leave me some comment love. Let me know who you are, where you're from, and what kind of books you like to read. Bonus points if you let me know whether or not you've read my books. I'm going to bounce back over to my chat room because I got to flip screens a lot. It's fun. It's fun up and around here. So I did promise, and I'm going to toss this in right now because it's the middle. It is the middle of the party. And people aren't expecting me to do it in the middle. So I'm going to do it in the middle. I do have a big announcement that I am making in October. I have not been able to tell anybody what this announcement is yet. I have been giving hints. And at this point, I have given out enough hints that my fans, like people who actually follow me, could figure out what this is. I've given out enough information that people could figure out what it is. No one has, but you could. Today, I promised that I would give out a big, huge hint. And I'm going to tell it to you right now. I'm going to see if it confuses you. It is one word. You ready for it? Gotta listen closely. Lean in. You ready? I'm only saying this once. The hint for the announcement that I am making in October is Akas. And there you have it. That was your hint. Good luck figuring that one out. You're going to figure it out once it comes out. You're going to look back on this big announcement and be like, oh, all of that made sense. I should have figured that out. But until that point, you might not, because double meanings and extra things, and I'm really good at keeping secrets like this. But it's huge and big and wonderful and amazing, and I think you're going to be really excited about it. So let me know if you've got guesses. Go ahead and hit up that chat box. I won't tell you if you're right or wrong, but, you know, we'll see. What? Oh, I'm not telling you how you spell that, Jess. Sissy, I'm not 100% certain what that is. Sissy says, God bless you. I don't know why exactly. I'm thinking perhaps it sounded like my puppies are upstairs and they're barking because people aren't keeping them quiet like they're supposed to be. And so that if you heard that and you thought that someone was sneezing, that wasn't me. That's what that was. Yeah, so I won't tell you how to spell that hint. Sorry, too bad, so sad. Moving on. The word I won't say sounds like a sneeze. Oh, I figured it out. Okay, the word that you won't say. I'm with you now. I'm with you. That took me a long time, guys. It's been a long day. I was wondering too, Jessica. Yeah, no. Still not telling. Still not telling. Even if I did tell you how to spell it, you wouldn't be able to figure it out from just that. That's more of one of those, like, you're gonna get it later, but you're not gonna get it right now. But if you stalk my social media, if you are looking specifically at Instagram and Facebook, I'm giving out a ton of hints. Instagram stories, Instagram lives, Facebook lives. I'm embedding them in my photos, in my videos, in my captions, and I have put out a ton of information. So you do have the ability to figure it out. If you go stalk my blog and my website and my videos and my photos and the things that I'm putting out there, especially captions, pictures, videos, super helpful. Was the puppy okay? By the way, you mentioned an injury. I have a very injured puppy, unfortunately. She's temporarily okay. We're not really sure right now. I mean, she'll be okay-ish, but she's got some stuff going on, unfortunately, and it's not super pleasant. So if you want more details, Elizabeth, I can give those to you and or your sister later, but not necessarily on air right now. But thank you for asking. I do appreciate that. She's kind of recovering. She's in a lot of pain, but she'll be okay. She's got some injuries, unfortunately, that kind of ripped open today, so it'll be okay. All right, let me check my list because, like I said, I was dealing with puppy injuries for about 4 or 5 hours today, and I didn't get a chance to make my list of what we were doing for the party, so it's on an index card here, really tiny. So I'm just going to look this over. Cool. Okay, I hit my main points. Thank goodness. Okay, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. It's one of those days, guys. I do have a present for you, though. Before we go any further, I do want to tell you a little bit about this present. Like I said, I give party gifts to everybody who gets involved and who shows up for these parties live. So you guys are getting an exclusive present from me today. I'm really excited about it. And if you have been to my parties before, you know I love adult coloring sheets. It's fun. It's fun. And obviously, you know, we draw things here. We play games. I feel like once, when did I do that? Oh, I actually had an event. Here's a fun story for you. I had an event. It was called Book Prom. It was last, like, May-ish. I had a whole bunch of authors on, and we drew prom dresses on characters, but we had to do it, like, on our heads and stuff. That was a fun little thing. So a lot of drawing at my parties. And I do have a coloring sheet for all of you that goes with Locked. So if you were at the parties for both Forged and Golden, you know that we have coloring sheets that go with each of these. They are exclusive to the party. You can only get them at the party. And you are getting the next one in the series for the Locked cover. So here we go. I am going to go ahead and I am going to pop that into the chat box. Let me take this one down and put the next one up. Here we go. Take a look at this one. Boom, look how pretty that is. And that is a partially colored one. because I was sitting there after I drew that. Yes, I did kind of draw that. No, I am not an artist. I do have an artist that works for me, and she does magnificent work. In fact, my artist was the one who drew the chapter headers for Forged. And if you know anything about my Golden series, you know I've got very special chapter headers. Within these chapter headers are hidden pictures. Usually there's about 17, 18, 19, 20 pictures hidden within this. And once you read through the book, you will be able to identify all of these. So if you look closely, you're going to see things like, this is my personal favorite. Here's a little hint. There's a bear claw scratch in there, which is very important. Off the top of my head, I'm seeing a knife. I'm seeing a necklace. I'm seeing playing cards, but I won't tell you where they are. You have to go through the book and you have to find these. And these are in all of my books, and they're all unique to those books. So the one for Golden looks different than the one for Locked. And they all have things relevant to the story, this story, and to the original Goldilocks story. So you're going to be able to find references to the original story of Goldilocks that also show up within the story and are in my chapter headers. And so each book has their own unique set of chapter headers done by my amazing artist. She did not draw this picture for me. She would probably be slightly horrified at this. I'm just calling it modern art. Run with me here. My favorite one is still the one I did for the Golden Party. I loved that one. The rest of them are just kind of but that's okay, because we're just calling it an exclusive art project for me. I don't know. Just run with it. So you have the ability to go ahead and click on that, get that printed out. I would love to see you color that in and put that over on social media. Get on Instagram, get on Twitter, get on, well, Snapchat doesn't work. Get on Facebook and tag me in these, because I want to see what you are doing to color these gorgeous adult coloring sheets. Now, if you happen to be here at this live party, I do have a little extra that I can do for you. If you have not read my series yet and you were not at my other parties, but you go ahead and you read my series and you actually want these other coloring sheets, I might be able to slip them to you quietly. Just don't tell anybody that I can get you those exclusive coloring sheets because you were here at this party. Jess is saying that you love the chapter headers. I still haven't found all of the items in them. I know, girl, because I'm sneaky about that. Some of them are extremely hard. Like, some of them, easy to find. Some of them, the connections are easy to find. Some of them are dang hard. And the fun thing is, originally I had asked my artist to just draw something that was kind of like loopy and pretty. And she started showing me the frame for it back when we were doing Golden. And she showed me in progress how she was doing those. And I actually looked at it and said, oh my gosh, you hid pictures in there. There's 1, 2, 3, or 4 different things that she did not hide in it. It was just something I happened to see within the design she was creating. And all of a sudden it's like, yes, hidden pictures. And so we crammed, I think, 17 of them into the first one for Golden. I think we've got like 19 in Locked, and right about that for Forged as well. And they all connect to the books, all because we accidentally created finding hidden picture chapter headers. So it was pretty awesome. And now you have the ability to go through and find all of those. Now, I do have some place floating out on the internet the actual answers to these, and you might be able to find them if you look really, really hard. I don't think I've made them too public yet. I should probably do that. That was on my to-do list, and I didn't do it, I don't think, because I got busy putting out a ton of books really, really fast. These are all of my books. All 4 of my books that have come out. So fun times there. Fun things going on. And beautiful chapter headers in all of them by my amazing artist. Okay, so now we are at the point of, oh, sorry, that was really loud. I just dropped a bunch of books by the computer. We're now at the point where we are going to be answering some questions. So if you have questions for me, go ahead, put them in there. They can be about the Golden Trilogy, the Jaded Duology. They can be about writing. They can be about life in general. They could be about books that I like. Literally everything is game here, within reason. Like, you know, be appropriate. Don't try to embarrass me on air, because I know Sissy likes to do that. Yentl likes to do that too. She unfortunately is not here tonight because she lives in Puerto Rico and they do not have power right now. So much love to you, Yentl. We hope that everything is going well. I know you'll be watching the rebroadcast later. Just please know we miss you and we love you. Go ahead and hit me up with those questions in the chat box. We're going to be answering anything that you want to learn about. Sissy's behaving. You are. You're being remarkably quiet, actually. I kind of was wondering if you slipped off on me. Jess wants to know, will we be getting more of Necesta's background? That is a good question. That is a good question. I have had multiple people ask about kind of doing more backstory for Golden, doing more prequel novellas, so that is something I'm considering. I do not have any specific plans for it yet, but I am writing the last book right now. And while we aren't going to have too much time to go into Necesta's past, I know, like, already now I'm having trouble saying goodbye to these people, and I just started writing this book. It's not even like it's toward the very end of it. But I'm definitely having some trouble letting go of both of my series, because I'm scheduled right now to have both the end of Golden and the end of Jaded out near the beginning of 2018. And so I'm having trouble saying goodbye, and I've already started looking for ways to kind of extend some of this. So I do have some tricks up my sleeve. I've got some stuff coming. I cannot say whether or not we will be getting a ton of Necesta's past, but I feel like that would be really interesting to see more of her background. So it's definitely something I will consider. And that's about all I can say right now, because I don't have definite plans on that, because I'm still figuring out everything I can and cannot work into Edge, because I've got a lot planned. Sissy says she's still here. Brianna wants to know, what was my inspiration for writing a retelling of Goldilocks? Ah, this is a good story. I like this one. Okay, so when I was a little girl, I would go into the stores, and we would go into the hair dye aisle. No one in my house used hair dye, so it was like, go to get a hairbrush or something, or go to get like hair accessories, and on the opposite wall, they would have the hair dyes. And so I would go and I would match my hair color to all of the different colors, and my hair was always golden. And I'm not like a white blonde person. My hair is not white blonde. I have a cousin who has white blonde hair. That's what I considered blonde. I was not blonde. And so Goldilocks is always portrayed as this girl with white blonde hair, and it really bothered me because my hair was golden. And my hair wasn't represented anywhere. Like, I had major issues with the fact that no one represents my hair. Nobody has my color hair on TV, in books. Like, it's a thing. Nobody has my hair length. Like, I've got really long Rapunzel-like hair. So unless it's Rapunzel, we're not getting much love for the long hair. And so I was obsessed with golden hair and the fact that Goldilocks had golden hair, but everybody portrayed her as looking like my cousin. And so I was always obsessed with her story, and I wanted to know what her real story was, because I was also obsessed with the true story behind whatever story it was. So when I was a little girl in school, they would have like the real story of the Three Little Pigs, where the big bad wolf wasn't big and bad, he was nice, and the Three Little Pigs were kind of mean, and it was like two sides to every story. And I never bought that Goldilocks would just walk into a house one day, set up shop, and then run into the bears and run out. And that was the end of the story. Like, I hated that. I thought that was the dumbest thing. And so I always wanted to know her real story. So combined with my hair color issues and the fact that everyone doesn't represent her correctly, when they represent her at all, I had to know what was going on. And so for years and years and years, I thought about this. And all of a sudden, I started writing books. I've written other books before this, and one day it just clicked. She wasn't naive. She was sent there on a mission. Well, what is this mission? Well, the mission is to destroy the bears. When the bears aren't actual bears, they're a group of people with the last name Bear. It's not a mother, father, son. It's an older brother, younger brother, and the older brother's wife. There are some anger issues. There's a lot going on there. And Goldilocks has been sent on a mission. She is this assassin girl gone to destroy the bear family. And obviously she's going to fall in love, and then we have to figure out what happens from there. And I wanted to make sure that they had a realistic story. So yes, they fall for each other quickly, but then as soon as we figure out what's going on, they are distanced. Like, these people are apart. They're going through a real relationship where one of them has lied and is trying to regain the trust of the other one, who cannot give her his trust. And it's just this big thing, and I just love it. So that is kind of where I was coming with retellings. I am a huge fan of retellings, and I do a lot of retellings, which you will see soon. Fun times. Okay. You should do a collection of short stories for the series and put them all in a book. Ta-da! There we go, Jess. Elizabeth wants to know, is there sort of a love triangle in the Golden series? No, there's not. It sounds like there would be, but there's not. Illyria likes Dove, Dove likes Illyria, Shadow kind of likes Illyria, but it's less of a I like you because I like you and more of a I like you because my boss told me we're getting married and so now we belong together and I'm going to see this through because this is what we're supposed to do. But does he really like her or doesn't he? We're not really sure. We're going to kind of find out a little bit more in Locks. But no, there's no love triangle. She's not choosing between two boys. Like, love triangles annoy me, so I don't write love triangles, at least not typical love triangles. I will say I have a story with a love triangle. However, it is not like choosing between two people. It's like a totally different thing that's still, like, it still could technically fall within a love triangle, but it's a very strange, weird love triangle, which is a story for another time. But no, definitely not a love triangle. Those things irk me. It's just not going to happen. There may be other people who like my characters, but they are not going to be like, oh my goodness, who do I choose? I just don't know. I don't do that. That's not going to happen. No love triangles. I will sometimes give the possibility of a love triangle. Like in one of my other stories, people have said, is this supposed to be a love triangle? Is this going to turn into a love triangle? Is this going to end up being a love triangle? And the answer is, I'm just kind of catfishing you there. Fun times. When I first saw you, I did think of Rapunzel. I see that you're corrected there. Rapunzel hair. I love your hair. I'm so glad that you had hair color issues that led you to this. Ha! Right, girl? That's right. Hair color issues. This was all of my childhood things surfaced in this book. I'll just run with that. Jess says, I think Shadow has real feelings for Illyria, not just because Lowell told him to. I don't know. I mean, I do know, but you don't know. That was kind of my, like, evil queen thing. All right, what else do you have? Hit me up with a couple more questions. We're going to wrap this party up in just a few minutes. But I want to know, what else do you want to know from me? Let me know what you guys want to learn just a little bit more about. And while you're doing that, I am going to actually pop in to the chat room and drop some information about Locks. So if you are interested in Locks, you can go ahead and click on that. It'll take you over to my site, which is all about Locked, which you will also be able to find information about Golden, so you can get your hands on copies of those fabulous books if you are interested. Go ahead and let me know in the chat box what you are. Look, why am I doing that? I'm using my keyboard on my computer when I have an editing tablet sitting next to me. I don't know why I was playing with the actual trackpad. Fun times. For those of you that don't know, I am a professional photographer, so I do use a professional editing tablet, and I kind of use it in place of a mouse, which is kind of amazing. It writes just like this, and it's amazing. I love it. Where is Alexis when you need her? Jess wants to know, do we find out who Silas likes in Edge? I mean, I guess you know Silas is alive now. That's all I can say. He didn't die in this book. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Silas is Dove's best friend, so Baby Bear's best friend. He's kind of like the fourth bear, but he's like the unofficial one because he's not actually related to them, and he is a leader within the group. He likes someone, and Illyria keeps trying to find him a girlfriend to get him off her case because Silas likes to be a little matchmaker and kind of tries to put Illyria and Dove back together after their fallout. And he does have someone that he likes, but there are things keeping them apart. You're fine, Jess. You're fine. There are things keeping them apart. And I don't know. I don't know if you're going to find out. I think Alexis is going to kill me either way. Alexis is my artist. She's in love with Silas. And you just have to, I mean, I can't even tell you if he lives through the next book. I can't tell you that. I mean, I should tell you guys, and I do tell people this a lot. Between Golden and Jaded, there's at least one main character who is going to die. Main character is going to die, and everyone will sob, which is another reason I don't want to write the endings to either of these books. But I can't tell you who it is, and I can't tell you if Silas is going to live, and I can't tell you if you're going to find out who he likes or not. So, good luck. Okay, last minute questions, hit me up. Now is the time. I am getting messages, so let me just... Oh, okay. I see. Sometimes I get people messaging me on other social media platforms because they don't want to post it here, but that was not about this. So, any last minute questions, go ahead and hit me up. You can check out Locked by going to lockedinfo.k.m.robinsonbooks.com, which will kick you over to all the information you need to know about Locked. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic, and I cannot wait for you guys to get your hands on a copy of Locked. And if you have not, I would love for you to get your hands on a copy of Golden as well, so you can learn a little bit more about Goldilocks and how she was sent on that deadly mission to destroy the Bear family and what happens when she betrays everyone. It's gonna be good. You can also get your hands on a copy of Jaded, which is my other series, The Jaded Duology. This is a dystopian novel all about a girl whose father tried to take power away from the commander when she was a child because he was running a dictatorship and her father wanted to establish a democracy. And unfortunately, the commander cannot go after her father, so he marries Jade off to his son. They are going to bring her into their family, make the country believe that they have accepted her and they like her, and then they're going to murder her and make it look like an accident to get back at her father, and she has to try to survive. So it's a very interesting, very high-packed book. It is called, or it has been called, the YA dystopian Mr. and Mrs. Smith, so I hope you will check that out. jadedinfo.k.m.robinsonbooks.com. You can also hang out with goldeninfo.k.m.robinsonbooks.com, or just go to my website, k.m.robinsonbooks.com. Everything's there. You'll see it. It's awesome. Lots of information there. Flipping all my books over here. Is the commander considered a main character? Can it be him? For the person that dies, he's definitely considered a main character. Can it ever be him that dies? I mean, wouldn't it be just awesome if he could die? I feel like that would be the best. If he could die, that would be the best. FYI, for those of you who have not read my books yet, I am a mean author. I do realistic endings. I don't do fluffy endings just for the sake of fluffy endings. So sometimes people will end up happy in the end, but they're going to have scars. They're going to have bruises. They're going to have a lot to deal with at the end of these books, and some of them are not going to make it. I'm a realistic endings kind of girl. It's going to be good. I will make you cry, and I have vicious cliffhangers, so good luck is all I can say. Good luck. Jess says, please let it be him. And Brianna says, that sounds awesome. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I know what you meant, girl. You're good. Okay. Thanks so much for joining me. This has been awesome. I hope you guys will take advantage of those coloring sheets because I would love to see what you're going to do with those. Go ahead and get those colored in. I kind of did mine based off of the cover. So it's kind of pinks and purples, but, you know, you can go with, like, the realistic leaf colors and stuff like that. The forged cover here is kind of a nighttime scene, so lots that you can do with this. I would love to see what you are going to be working on. Get those out on social media. Tag me at k.m.robinsonbooks. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at k.m.robinsonbooks. I've been doing behind the scenes and all sorts of amazing stuff. And I would love for you guys to reach out, even if you have not read my books, even if you do not plan on reading my books, even if you could care less about my books. Reach out. Let's be friends. Let's chat, because I love having conversations with you guys, whether or not you are fans of my book or not. I just want to be friends. So reach out to me on social media. I would love to hear from you guys. And I cannot wait to see you over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And I want I want to support you guys too, so let me know what it is that you do. If you're a bookstagrammer, or if you do something else and you just happen to be hanging out at a book party here, I want to be there to support you, so let me know what it is that you do and connect with me on social media. As always, come hang out with me on k.m.robinsonbooks.com and find me on Amazon, find me on BookBub, find me on all of those fun sites, find me on Wattpad. I just got one of those. There's nothing on it yet, but coming soon, maybe. We'll see. If you have not read my books yet, you can get excerpts of all of my first books in the series by going to excerpt.k.m.robinsonbooks.com. Get the first chapter and a half of Golden and the first 3 chapters of Jaded. Also, bonus scenes. I have 2 bonus scenes from Golden. Nope. Oh, you know what I can do? Okay, so I do have 2 bonus scenes from Golden, from different characters' perspectives. They're really, really good scenes. One is directly from the book. One is talked about in the book, but is not actually shown in the book. You can get those by pre-ordering lots, which is a little late now. However, if you buy it today and send me the receipt today, I will honor that. We did have a little bit of trouble with the printed copies of the book not being up for pre-order because our printer had some issues. Theoretically, we got those fixed today, and I have been told that they were up. I did not get to check before the party, but I have been told that they are up on Amazon now. So if you do go ahead and you purchase a copy ebook or print book from any of the online retailers, any of the major platforms, and you send me that receipt, I will get you the swag. It is a cell phone wallpaper, a signed digital poster, the first 4 chapters of this, which won't matter unless you buy the print book and it takes a couple days to get to you, and 2 bonus scenes from Golden, which you are gonna die over. They're like swoon-worthy. Well, one of them is swoon-worthy. The other one's just cute. But you can also get bonus scenes by going to my Facebook page, facebook.com/k.m.robinson and I have a bonus scene from Golden and a bonus scene from Jaded that were mentioned in both of the books, but not actually talked about in the books. The first one is actually going to be from Golden, and it is, oh, never mind, I'm not going to tell you. But they're good. They're good. They're really, really good scenes. So you can actually go to my Facebook page and DM me. If you send me a direct message, it's my bot assistant is going to pop up and be like, hey, what can I help you with today? And you just let her know that you want the bonus scenes, and she will get those to you right away. There's some other cool stuff there, too, including interactive choose-your-own-adventure games. If you're interested in the games, I've got one set up for Jaded. I am working on one for Golden, but that's not up and ready yet. But there is an interactive game. So if you have not read Jaded yet, you can actually play this game and then see how your choices within this Choose Your Own Adventure game over on Facebook affects what is happening within the book. And you can go scene by scene by thing that happens and see what your choice did to instruct how the book is done, what happens in the book. One of the girl who's going to die, her boss is on a mission to save her, and her father and maybe a couple other people are trying to help save her. He will send you on a mission to try to help her, and some of the choices you make will impact what is happening within the book, and you're actually going to see scene by scene what you do to help in that book and how you help to possibly save Jade, because we don't really know. She might not make it. You can actually go to savejadegame.k.m.robinsonbooks.com to access that, I do believe. I like that your bot is considered female. She is. Allie's female. My fabulous bot assistant, Allie, is amazing. You will love her. The Jaded game was so much fun. I recommend it to anyone who hasn't played it. Yeah, it is fun. And I am working on one for Golden. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. All right, you guys, I am off. I have things to do. I've got another party that I am participating in like an hour for an author friend of mine who also had a book out today. Shout out to some fabulous people. I have a lot of book birthday siblings today. It's going to be really fun. I did name my bot, Jess. Have you not met Allie yet? You need to go meet Allie. She's amazing. You can do that by going to facebook.com/k.m.robinsonbooks. All sorts of fun things over there. I put all sorts of fun things on social media. I'm a big person on Facebook, Facebook Live. I do Instagram stories, and Instagram Live. Those are my big ones. So if you want to hang out with me and get some fun extras, that's the place to do it. I also do behind the scenes of what I'm currently writing without spoilers over on Snapchat. So if you want real-time reactions to what I'm writing without spoilers, come follow me on Snapchat. It's kind of fun, and there are filters. Fun times. You have, but you didn't know she had a name. She introduced herself to you, Jess. How do you not know Allie? Girl, we're going to have to talk after this. Okay, wrapping it up for real this time. I know this is like the 3rd time I've said this. Thank you so much for joining me for the Locked launch party. I do truly appreciate you guys being here. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to hang out with me, come hit me up on social media. It's going to be awesome, and I'd love to be friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy your coloring page and your excerpts of the book and all the fun things that we dropped today. I appreciate you playing the game with me, hanging out, asking questions, and just being all around fabulous. I'm K.m. Robinson, author of the Golden Trilogy and the Jaded Duology, and I will see you next time. Be sure that you follow me on social media because I have a big, massive, huge, earth-shattering announcement that is coming in October. I want to say 15th and 16th, or it might be the 16th and 17th. I'm not 100% sure. It's Monday and Tuesday. It's a 2-part announcement because it's so big. It's going to take 2 days, and it's not just me. There's somebody else involved in this too. It's going to be good. So come check it out. Hang out with me. Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you, Elizabeth, for joining us, and everybody else who is here with me now. I appreciate you hanging out. Jess, Brianna, Sissy, Elizabeth, everybody who's chilling with us tonight. I do appreciate and love you guys. Have a fantastic evening, and I will see you again soon. Happy book birthday to Locked. You guys have a great night. Bye-bye.